So today we have a 2014 Chevy Silverado. I just did the front brakes on it. But the other problem that it's here for is a message on the dash that says, check trailer wiring. And of course I look behind me and there's no trailer. I thought maybe it'd be salt water in the electrical plug. So I blew out the electrical plug. There was a considerable amount of water in it. So I blew this out and put some dielectric grease in there. But that hasn't cleared the message. And I scanned it. We'll have a look at the scan report. So I did a network scan and we have a bunch of codes in the engine control, low voltage codes, tire pressure monitor codes. TPMS light is on. I imagine it's missing tire pressure sensors. And when this doesn't want to scroll very well here. Well, let's look at this system report here. My vehicle system report 12/20/19 view. So this was a scan a few minutes ago. Now the one thing that struck me as odd is the trailer brake control module did not respond and it did not flag it. That's one of the inherent issues with the snap-on scan tool. If a module does not talk on the network, it just ignores it. Engine, tranny, ABS, airbag, body control, human interface, HVAC, instrument panel, telematics. There is no trailer brake controller. So, let's go out of here, go back, and it's in the chassis control section, chassis control module. And the trailer brake control section is in there, and if I go to display codes I get no communication. Yet this vehicle does have a trailer brake control module. It has the factory trailer brake control on it, so we're going to have to check fuses for this system and see if there's a fuse blown. So the schematic shows 3 fuses: ignition power fuse, battery fuse, and a 30 amp fuse that goes to the trailer brake power module. I imagine that's the part on, I'm not sure if that's the part on the dash or not. Well, we'll check these 3 fuses. They're all in the underhood fuse box. So fuse 19 is this 10 amp fuse right here. And as you can see, I've got power on both sides of that fuse. And fuse 34 is this one right here. And it's good as well. So both fuses and the 30 amp fuse, I forget which one that one was, I'm going to have to find that one now and check it. So fuse 1 is this little 30 amp J fuse, and that fuse is good as well. So that means we're going to have a look at this trailer brake control module and where it's located. Maybe we'll have a look at the grounds. But it's not communicating with the scan tool for some reason. So drop the spare tire, and this module right here is the trailer brake control module, apparently, and this is the chassis control module. It's nice and convenient located out of the rust and salt. I can't get this connector off. It looks like it's sprayed with undercoating tar of some kind. I'm going to have to try and pick that lock out of there. Now, I don't know if I should be checking for power and grounds to this thing, because this is the chassis control module and then it communicates with that, I believe. Oh well, we'll do a little bit more research. So right now I got the black lead connected to ground, which is pin, what pin was that? 13, I believe, at this end. Pin 1 is battery power at this end, and pin, let's get the diagram out here. Yeah, pin 13 was ground, pin 1 was battery power, pin 25 is key switch power. So I've got the Load Pro set up on pin 25, and we're reading with the key on 12.37 volts, and when I press the Load Pro button it drops to 12.2. So there's nothing wrong with that circuit, and I'm using the ground circuit at the same time, so that proves the ground is good. So there's 1 ground and 1 ignition power and 1 battery power. Let's move it over to battery power here. Okay, that's pin 1. battery power. You can see 12.37 volts. Press the button on the low pro, it drops to 12.28, so there's no problem with those two circuits. Now I'm going to figure out which one of these wires. I can't find a pinout for this connector, but I might be able to clean these off and figure out which wire is power on this thing to make sure that this trailer brake controller is gotten power and ground. So there are 4 CAN bus wires at this module. Pins 26, 27, 28, 29. That's pin 26 and I've got no signal on it. Here's 27. We can see there's CAN activity on 27. I got the key on. 28. That looks like CAN L. And 29 is dead as well. So I have no CAN bus signal on 26 and 29. So I'll have to look at the network and see how it's configured. That one looks like CAN H. It's 27 and 28. The other 2 wires have no signal. I've got to look at the CAN bus and see how it's wired. So there's the high-speed GM LAN. 27 and 28 worked. That's why I had communication at that module. It goes out of 26 and 29 go to the termination resistor, as you can see here. I'll highlight it in yellow. So there would be no communication on that side of the circuit. Let's put an ohm meter across 26 and 29 and see if it reads 120 ohms. Make sure that terminating resistor is not shorted or open. I would imagine if we were to put an ohm meter across 27 and 28, we'd read 120 ohms going the other way, provided, of course, the voltage was shut down in the circuit. I think the CAN bus circuit is fine because I've got network communication, data packets being received, so there is a serial data wire in here, accessory wake up. I just noticed. Maybe we'll want to double check that one to see if we have a serial data. So I got the ohm meter connected between pins 26 and 29, and it should be 120 ohms. We have 122, so terminating resistor is fine. Okay, we're going to check powers to this trailer brake control, but the chassis compartment or chassis control module seems to have power and ground to it. Well, I took that chassis control module down and looked at the top of it to see if it was corroded through. No signs of corrosion internally. I did not take it apart. So we're going to have a look and see if it communicates now. I seriously doubt it. Powers and grounds to the trailer brake control module are good. They load tested okay. And as I figured, no communication. So I'm going to condemn the chassis control module. And I'm going to talk to a couple of people, see if that's a common failure. Strikes me as odd is after disconnecting that trailer brake control module, we ended up with this U0422 invalid data and U0137 in the ABS, lost communication with trailer brake control module. Yet my scan tool won't talk to it, yet it seemed that the ABS module is able to talk to it. Over here we've got an Autel scanner, and it can't talk to the trailer brake control module or the chassis control module either. So I'm going to price out a chassis control module. I found one case on the technicians network, on Identifix, where that was the case. I don't see any corrosion in the connection. The wires seemed good to it, so we're going to call the unit.